Welcome back to Correlation Nation. This is the PropSpot. Today is March 25th. We have an 11-game slate. So without further ado, we start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. All right, at the top I have Vucevic, 10 rebounds, 17 points. I think that the 10 rebounds is pretty live. It's, overall it is a good matchup. I wouldn't mind this at a 9. 9 might be a little bit better. 17 points. That's more than doable. He hasn't really been in there in points, and it really depends on who's all playing. Kobe White probably be back. Ayo's been playing pretty well. You got DeRozan, so you never really know what the pecking order is going to be. But when you look at the actual matchup and what's actually going on here, so we do have they're playing Washington. Washington, they're known to be pretty bad against the center position, but I think lately they've been a bit better. But again, you have Bagley and you have Rashawn Holmes, not the greatest defenders. This is a pretty achievable number. But again, it kind of comes down to what is he doing. Where's he fall in the pecking order? Joker, I think this guy's pretty questionable. I think that most of their team was at some point deemed questionable today, so it's pretty likely that a lot of these guys are going to set. It's kind of a give-me game, if I remember. And they are playing Memphis, so yeah, it's a bit of a gimme. I don't know. I'll just wait and see whether these guys play or not. But 12 rebounds is a number he's been getting to. I do have the red arrow because it's a bit of a high number, just in the grand scheme of things. So if you can get him at 10, if he's playing, if you can get him at 10, not the worst. 27 points, also a high number. I've been betting a lot more around like 23. So I'm not going to say I love that. It is a bit of a tougher matchup, but yeah, I mean it's Nikola Jokic, but so you're not really gonna. I mean, he's kind of matchup proof in a way. The one team that it seems that really slows him down is Miami. That's what history shows. But anyways, moving on. Michael Porter Jr. Be careful with this. If this guy plays and then Nikola doesn't and Jamal doesn't, you would think that this guy's going to take on more of a role. However, he tends to kind of not be able to capitalize on more usage, and it tends to just kind of like trickle down the ladder. And so, the rebound prop is still pretty live if he does play, but the 17 points, I like a lot more if everyone else is playing. If it's just him, I know that I know you would think that, oh, this puts him in a position to score, but he just does not respond well to the higher usage. He kind of needs somebody else there to take on some of the attention, the defensive attention. So just be careful with that. Kessler, 8 rebounds. Pretty live number. This guy's a 12 rebound per 36. He does play around 24-ish minutes lately. So 8 rebounds is pretty live. You can't really bank on what his role is going to be, so it is a volatile bet. 6, 7 rebounds is a lot more safe, but I do think the 8's doable. Just again, volatile bet. Collins, same thing. His minutes have been down quite a bit lately, so I have him, and I don't know if that was because he's coming back from injury or sickness or, but I noticed that the past 2 or 3 games, his numbers, but as well as his minutes have been down quite a bit. So we have him at 6 rebounds, 16 points. And I like this a little bit more if, honestly, the 16 points even might need to come down. I wouldn't say I love that, but just keep that in mind. He's not been playing heavy minutes. Lauri Markkanen, he's questionable, maybe even out, but 7 rebounds, 20 points. The 7 rebounds is a very, very questionable deal because it depends on where he's playing. If he's starting at 3, I don't really love the rebound prop. I only like it if he's at the 4, and so keep your eye on that. If he's at the 4, I would consider playing the rebound prop. But if he's not starting at the 4, I'm not playing that prop. 20 points, very doable for him. Again, if he's playing. DeAndre Ayton, sorry. It's questionable, didn't play the last game. 12 rebounds, 17 points. Doable numbers for the guy. However, he's truly questionable. I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. And being that he's coming back from injury, it's pretty volatile. I'm not going to say I love these numbers. Claxton, 10 rebounds, 10 points. Great matchup for the guy. I could see him going over these numbers pretty easily. And I do like the 10 points, 10 rebounds. Dayron, Yeah, he might have the opportunity to play a little bit. Depends. I mean, their roster is a little bit depleted. He has a good chance of playing a little bit. Volatile bet for sure. 5 rebounds, extremely strong rebounder if he's getting the minutes. But you don't know what his minutes are going to be. So with that said, we're going to move on. Sabonis, 14 rebounds, 17 points. Sorry. I don't mind the guy's prop numbers. But 14 is high. He's been getting there. He's been crushing rebounds. That's why it's highlighted yellow right here. So he could definitely get there and rebound. 17 points. Very doable for me. You know, he's right around a 20 points per 36, and he plays pretty reasonable minutes. So 17 points is very likely for him. Bit of a tougher matchup, and he is a stronger rebounder than he is a scorer. I like the rebound prop more than the point prop. It is a better matchup, and that's just what he's better at. Oh, there goes my phone. Sorry. Yeah, you could definitely look at the rebound prop. Olynyk, 6 rebounds, 12 points. You know, the role should be there. Not a strong rebounder, but 6 is a number he's been getting to pretty regularly. Again, always be a little cautious when you're betting a rebound prop on a guy that's not very good at what you're betting him on. 12 points, pretty likely also. I really wish I could remember what his per 36 is, but, you know, this number is based off, you know, his kind of like average minute time, and then taking his per 36, and then just we want to consider the matchup. So it is a tougher matchup. 12 points, not the worst thing. You know, if you can get the guy at 10 points, you might look at it, but, you know, not the best scorer in the world. I don't absolutely love that. Landale should have an opportunity to play. Jabari's out. I think he got suspended 1 game. Landale, 3 rebounds. That's probably, you're not going to be able to find that prop. I would say his role's a little bit more secure, but wait and see what the starting lineup is, and we'll just move on. Amen Thompson, 6 rebounds, 10 points. Dude rebounds the ball pretty well. He's like right around 10 per 36, and he should play pretty good minutes. He has been playing, you know, kind of the same thing, right around that 24, 26 minutes. So 6 rebounds is pretty likely, I would say. You know, he's been hitting. He's hot. He's actually been quite a bit more than that. He's been hitting 7, 8, 10 even. So he's been actually rebounding better than his per 36 averages. And so he's just hot rebounding the ball right now. 10 points. You know, I don't hate it. I don't love it. Not the worst prop in the world. But again, where's he fall in the pecking order? Jalen Green's pretty hot right now. You don't know how much he's going to be relied on to score. So with that being said, 10's very achievable. Not the worst number. But, you know, whether you want to rely on that or not, that's totally up to you. Jared Allen, 11 rebounds, 15 points. These are very doable numbers. However, Evan Mobley has come back, and the last time he came back, he really hurt his numbers, his offensive numbers even. So, you know, his role's a lot more secure in what he's going to be doing, whether he's asked to score a whole lot or not. It really kind of comes down to the role that he's playing game in and game out. And so when Mobley's out, his role tends to be quite a bit better than when he's back. So I'm not going to say I love it. And honestly, it kind of hurts his rebound prop too, I think. I don't know if I really like him at 11. You know, I might like him more at 9. Just keep taking note of that. You know, Allen, if you do want a bit better rebound prop on him, you know, 9 might be better than 11. Oh, yeah. I mean, he could still get there in points. It's a lot more iffy. Anyways, Tatum. For the life of me, I'm not sure if I have Tatum down here. I don't know why I have Tatum. Anyways, we'll get to that one, you know, in a little bit. I will mention that Tatum. Let's look at the matchup real quick, since I don't have any points prop wrote up on the guy. He should be playing Atlanta. Very fast-paced team. Their defense has been a little bit better as of late. So I got him at 7 rebounds. Hasn't been rebounding the ball very well lately. Typically, you know, right around an 8 per 36. He should play full run. You know, bearing it's not a blowout. And, you know, 24, 25 points is pretty likely. I don't have any of that up, but, you know, that's pretty typical for him. You know, maybe even 26. Pretty solid matchup. So we'll just move on. But yeah, maybe like 26, or sorry, we'll say right around 25 points. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll stay close or not, but it definitely has the opportunity. It has a very good chance of staying close. So we'll say if you can find it lower than 25, consider that a little bit more. But right, like I said, 25. I'm not gonna go over 25, but 25 would be the points prop I would settle around. Porzingis, 7 rebounds. Never loved this guy's rebound prop. I've mentioned this before. I'm not going to run him and place any rebound prop on Porzingis. He's just not a consistent rebounder. Again, great size and all, has the ability to rebound, just kind of lacks effort. So I'm not running to play any rebound props on that dude. And then we have Zubac at 8 rebounds. Westbrook could potentially be coming back today. I'd say his role's overall pretty secure. He's right around an 8 rebound guy, or sorry, right around a 12 per 36, and he plays right around 2/3 of the game. But his role's always up in the air a bit. 8 rebounds, not the worst matchup. Very very doable. And let's see who he's matching up against today. It would be Indiana. Yeah, the rebound prop I would say is still pretty live. I wouldn't bet a point prop on anyone going against Miles Turner unless he was like a all-star caliber player. He tends to be a pretty good defender. So we can look at that rebound prop. But again, just understand his roles is a little bit volatile. That's why we're at 8 rebounds versus 10, 11. Paul George, 5 rebounds, 22 points. I want to pull this guy up real quick because I know he was on a heater lately, and I didn't really play a whole lot over the weekend. Looks like he fell down to 18 points. Let's see what his splits were. So he's shooting about just under 50%, 50% from three. So he's still shooting the ball pretty well. I'm not sure what that game environment was like. It was Philadelphia. I don't know what the score was. They've been pretty bad lately, so it could have just been a game that got out of hand. 5 rebounds again. I'm not running to play any rebound props on Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, none of these guys. I mean, they're 4 or 5 rebounds is super likely. They could even exceed that, but I'm not banking on it. It's a pretty solid matchup. You could look at them, and if it's a low enough number, you might consider taking it. But that's not something that I would recommend. I've gone over this before, but 22 points, pretty likely. I always like Paul George lower than this because at any point it could go to Kawhi, it could go to Harden. If Westbrook's coming back, go to Norman Powell. I like Paul George. I mean, it showed in that last game 18, and that's actually the number that I like with Paul George. I don't like a whole lot more. I write these numbers up based off, again, per 36, matchup, what they've been doing lately. I try to correlate up a number using all these statistics, and I'm settled around 22, quiet 20, maybe a little bit higher. But, we'll go ahead and say right now, since we're talking about, we got Paul George at 22, but let's say maybe a little bit lower. Okay, so if we can get him down at, 17, 18, I'm running to play that prop. I'm not running to play 22. But solid matchup nonetheless. 22 is obviously very achievable. Kawhi, 5 rebounds, 20 points. Again, not running to play the rebound prop, 20 points, pretty likely. Great matchup. I ain't got much else to say about that. Bagley and Holmes, these guys are splitting minutes. Bagley's just came back from injury. You're not really sure what his role is going to be. 5 rebounds, 6 points. Achievable numbers, but again, coming back from injury, I'm not running to place these bets, but these are pretty obtainable numbers. Holmes has been rebounding the ball extremely well, and I mean extremely well. He's been putting up huge rebound numbers in a very limited amount of minutes. So 5 rebounds, 7 points. These numbers are live, but the role is questionable. Kuzma, I believe, is out. Let's pull this up real quick just to verify. Oh, there it was right there. And Kuzma is out. You can see right here. Not that that is the most accurate information, but I do believe I've seen that he was out. So we're going to go ahead and scratch him, get him out of our notes. And Avdia, 8 rebounds, 14 points. Dude's been on a heater. Rebounds the ball pretty well. Pretty good energy and effort guy. 14 rebounds. He's been exceeding that number as well. He's not a dominant, so he's not like an elite scorer, but he gets to the rim. with layups and stuff. He shoots the ball. His shot's a little bit inconsistent, I would say. But, the 8 rebounds is super live. 14 points is also live, especially considering Kuzma's out. You could look to play these props. Richards, and this is his name Mike Richards? It's from Charlotte, so it's the center from Charlotte. That's who it is. So it's Nick Richards. My apologies. Nick Richards at 9 rebounds. Pretty strong rebounder. What his minutes are going to be like is, I guess, always a bit of a concern. But he usually plays around like 28 to 30 minutes. 9 rebounds. I think he's like 11 rebound per 36. It's a pretty achievable number, I'd say. It's a bit of a tougher matchup, going against Cleveland. If you got Evan Mobley as well as Jared Allen, yeah, that makes it pretty tough. But, these are live numbers. We'll move on. Miles Bridges, 7 rebounds. Not a super strong rebounder, but, he could get there. And then 17 points. I think the 17 points are pretty live. It is a tough matchup. But Cleveland's not playing like super great defense. He might have to deal with, I don't know if it would be Okoro. I'm not sure if they'd put him on Miles Bridges or not. I'd say he probably does have the length and the size to match up with him, but you never know. But 17 points, pretty doable number. Hartenstein, 6 rebounds, been playing a lot better. I think Thibodeau said that he's feeling a lot better. He's been playing a little bit more. 6 rebounds is very doable. He's one of the better offensive rebounders in the league. And if he's playing and getting the minutes, I'd say he has a pretty easy path to getting to 6 rebounds, probably more. Hart, 9 rebounds. Rebounded the ball really, really well. Playing really, really heavy minutes. Live number. Capella, 10 rebounds, 10 points. Yeah, I think Okongwu's out, which makes this guy a little bit more secure. So, not the greatest matchup in the world, but very, very strong rebounder, and he could definitely get there in points. I won't ramble on about it. We've talked about how he can get to his points before. Not the most elite scorer, more putbacks and stuff like that. So, anyways, moving on. Bamba, 5 rebounds. Let's look at the matchup. I was thinking when I wrote this that, he might match up pretty well against their opponent today. And I probably have to go all the way to the top to get back to this. Okay, so Sacramento. Yeah, it's Sabonis. I would say he matches up a little bit better than Reed does. So you have a pretty good chance of Bamba getting a decent amount of minutes, at least like half. And I think he's around a 10, 11 per 36. That's why I got him at 5, maybe more, depending on what his minutes may look like. So anyways, 5 rebounds is a pretty live number, but a questionable role. I do like to play secure roles, but this is a live number. Reed, 7 rebounds. Obviously a very volatile bet, but, pretty strong rebounder, and we'll probably get enough minutes between like backup. I don't know if he plays backup 4, backup 5. He has a pretty good chance of getting the minutes that he needs to get to the 7 rebounds. And then Tobias, he came back here recently, had a pretty decent game. 5 rebounds, not a super strong rebounder, but a number that's pretty achievable for him. And, he should have a pretty secure role. And then 16 points, also a pretty live number. But I will mention that before coming back from injury, he wasn't playing very well. Was in a bit of a slump, and because of that, I don't like absolutely love that or anything. Sohan, 7 rebounds. Yeah, Wemby's out today, so it makes his bet a little bit more live. Not a super strong rebounder, but he could get there, and he gets pretty good run at minutes. So I'll say it's a live bet, but it is a volatile bet. Miles Turner, 5 rebounds, 12 points. Don't love the rebound prop. It is a low number, but tough matchup. And then 12 points is a little bit more doable for him, I'd say. Siakam at 6+ rebounds. Tough matchup, but he's been extremely hot at rebounding the ball. I mean, he's been crushing the glass. And, yeah, I think he could get to 6, 7, and really probably even more. But, just bear in mind that, like I said, typically he's not like a super strong rebounder. And it is a tough matchup. So do as you will. 19 points. It's a bit more doable. Luka, 8 rebounds, 32 points. 32 is a high number, but he gets there. It's a good matchup. So you know, I'm gonna like this number obviously a little bit lower. That's why I have it highlighted. But you know, 32 is always a possibility. Obviously, I mean he can go over that. But I don't really like betting players over 30, even when they're like super elite scorers. 30 is just kind of a high number. Gafford, 7 rebounds, 12 points. Yeah, if Luka's playing, you know, I don't mind this guy's points prop. But I will say that he always has the potential of getting into foul trouble. And so let's look real quick. So they're going against Utah. John Collins potentially starting. You know, which he's not like a super offensive threat, but you know he can get there. I'm not sure if that's the type of guy that will get Gafford in foul trouble. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. 12 points. I think I like the points prop more than the rebounds prop. But the rebounds probably pretty low. PJ 5 rebounds, 6 points. Yeah, you know he falls down the line as far as the scoring option goes. But the rebounds he could definitely get there. You know 5 is probably more than I want to bet, but 4 I don't mind it. It's a low number. He plays enough minutes that he could easily get there. Just not a strong rebounder, you know. So not strong. But even though he's not strong, and I've mentioned this a lot, he typically gets to right around that number. So even though he's not a strong rebounder, he's consistent at what he does. Typically, he's pretty consistent at what he does, at least lately. And so I think that let's say 4. Let's say 4 rebounds is a pretty likable number. Aldama 5 rebounds. Yeah, he's been super or rebounding the ball super well. And getting pretty strong minutes as well. I think he's in a position to do the same thing again today. It is a tough matchup. 5's a low number for what he's been doing. So I do like him at 5 rebounds. He can exceed that, but I like him at 5 rebounds. And so if you can find 5, even though it's a tough matchup, that kind of it allows you a little bit of a window, and it's not the worst thing in the world. GG Jackson, 4 rebounds, 15 points. Yeah, not a I don't know. You know, he plays a pretty significant role in this team right now. 4 rebounds is a low number. And again, you know, this guy is a rookie, like one of the younger players in the league. So there's going to be inconsistencies, but he shows that he's a pretty consistent player. Mostly 4 rebounds, don't hate it, don't love it. 15 points, I like that quite a bit more. I think he can get there in a tough matchup. Wiseman, Dern was ruled out. Wiseman should have a opportunity to get there, and this 4 rebounds, yeah, you're probably not going to find 4, but this guy is 11, 12 rebounds per 36 in that area, and he should be getting, we'll project him at like 28-ish minutes, and so I think with that being said, yeah, I want to say, let's just say 11 rebounds at 36, and then so we'll go down to like 8 or 9. You know, I don't mind this guy at 8. We could probably double the 4. But, you know, obviously the lower you can find it, the better. You don't really. I mean, they're depleted in the front court. And he should have a lot of opportunity to play those minutes as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble. And isn't just getting smoked defensively. Yeah. Rebound prop's pretty good on this guy. Again, the lower it is, the better it is. He should be able to get to 4 even. You know where he's at. DeRozan, 21 points. I don't know. I don't mind his points prop. He should be one of the, you know, the first options scoring the ball. So I don't hate it. But these guys have quite a few offensive threats. DeRozan, Ayo's been playing pretty well offensively. Kobe coming back from injury or just came back from injury. And then you also have Vucevic. So it's a little sketchy to say the least, I would say. But DeRozan is a very good offensive player. So 21 points is a very doable number. Just like I said, I think the main thing here is they have way too many options. That's kind of your problem with these points props on these guys. If they were much lower numbers, you know, it would be more realistic. But the fact that, you know, DeRozan's got the name value, his points prop probably going to be a little bit high. And then combine that with the fact that all these guys are playing. Yeah, I don't love that. So, you can say the same thing with, AO and Kobe White. So that's kind of where I'm at with those guys. Those ain't the worst numbers. Kobe's White's points is kind of low, 17, but he hasn't really been getting there. He's been, come back from injury and just hasn't played that well offensively yet. So at any point, he's live to get going again. And he does play pretty heavy minutes. AO's actually been playing really, really heavy minutes. So I don't know. Do what you will with that. I don't really love this stuff. It is a pretty solid matchup, but like there's other things to consider. Harden at 12 points. Don't really love to rely on this guy for points, but 8 assists. Pretty achievable today. The thing I would be the most worried about is Westbrook coming back. How's that going to affect his role? I mean, I know that Westbrook's been coming off the bench, and typically it doesn't affect him too much, but it could eat into his recent production. But Harden's been playing pretty well lately, driving a little bit more and assisting the ball very well. So I don't hate the eight assists. Norman's back, 12 points, always a doable number for Norman. Kyrie, 21 plus points. Yeah, I usually bet this guy around 23, so we got him at 21 today. It is a good matchup. I think he could easily get to 21, and then you could also bet between there and 23. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Brunson, 25 points. Yeah, he's in a good matchup. He's live to get there. Now, the thing I would worry about is I do think that the spread might be kind of wide on this game. Let's see if we can find this real quick. There was. Yeah, it's Detroit, and they're super depleted. That would be the one thing I'd be super concerned about is just, does this game get out of hand? Again, you can't predict that, but it's something that you want to consider when you're placing your bets. Brunson, 25 points. Yeah, he's in a good spot as far as production and matchup, but then in a bit of a bad spot if you consider the spread. So, anyways, Dante, 15 points, pretty achievable number, but he's in the same boat. Booker, 23 points. Not a bad bet. I think 23 is pretty doable for him. But when you got Booker, KD, Beal, so Beal's been playing a little bit more defense and assisting the ball a little bit more, and then KD's not been shooting the ball quite as well as he was. He, was up real high, kind of come back down. Booker, 23 points. He's definitely there. I don't know. I've mentioned this before. Booker and KD, they're 1A, 1B. It just is what it is. Booker, I never love anything more than 20 points, even though he's capable of going off for much, much more. I think circumstances tell me that 21 is probably the most I want to bet on this guy. KD, I got him at 19 plus points. Low number for him, but not been shooting the ball really well. Beal, 12 points, 7 assists. I'm not going to rely on Beal for his points right now because, as I said, he's putting a little bit more energy into playing defense as well as being a playmaker for the rest of the team. 7 assists. I do like that on Beal. But I will mention that this guy has been hurt a lot this year, and so that can happen at any point as well. Be careful with Beal. He could get hurt. Nurkic, 12 rebounds, high number. I don't know if this guy's. I think he's playing. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. Let's check this out real quick. I got to be careful. I was thinking, yeah, he's playing. He's not like questionable or anything. And it is a good matchup for him. Actually, it's a very good match for him because the Spurs splits are even worse with Wemby out. So 12 rebounds, high number. So I like it more. A little bit lower, but I think the 12 is achievable for him. Good matchup, and then 7 points. So these numbers are pretty good. I'd say the props on them are pretty good. I don't know what the spread is. Wemby being out makes a pretty big difference, honestly. It really does. KMT, 21 points. Yeah, I don't mind that prop at all. He should play pretty good minutes, and he scores the ball pretty well. Michael at 14 points. Not the worst deal. I don't really love his points prop. Schroeder, 12 points. He hasn't been shooting the ball well, so I'm not going to run to play any points prop on Schroeder. But 12 is a very achievable and live number. I just, like I said, not shooting the ball well. Not a primary scorer on the team, more of a facilitator. So with that being said, I'm probably not running to play a points prop on him. And then we'll move on to Keontae. Rookie, volatile. You don't know, is he going to get yanked? Is he going to get in foul trouble? I mean, you just don't know with this guy. 15 points, obviously. I think he's right around to like 18 per 36 or something like that. So he's not the worst player in the world. 15 points is a doable number. I would be skeptical on whether he gets there a full run or not. Sexton, 20 points. Not exactly sure what his role will be today. I don't know if he's moving back to the starting lineup yet or not. I think Clarkson might be coming back, so there's the chance. I got him at 20. He's been getting there regularly. Typically I like to bet him around 18. But you could take him at 20. But like him more at 18. That's where I'm at. Carlin, 15 points. He can get there, but I don't love this guy. Don't trust this guy. Levert, 15 points. Kind of the same thing. I felt better about it before, but with like Mobley coming back, I feel that Mobley kind of steps in and if he's getting the run, he's gonna be taking a bit of the offensive production from Levert. But that's kind of wait and see type deal. I mean, you really got to wait and see. I mean, I'm looking at it as how it was earlier in the year versus how it may be now, and we just kind of got let history, or not even history, but we just kind of got to speak for itself. These are two different situations. So Levert could still get there in points, but I think it's a bit of a volatile bet. Same thing with Niang. When I wrote this up, I wasn't even aware that Mobley was back, so I didn't play over the weekend, and I come back and Mobley's back. So Maxey, 24 points. Yeah, not the worst matchup. He's pretty live to get there, I would say. Oubre, 12 points. His production is going to fall with Tobias coming back. You don't know exactly what his role is going to be. He's obviously got potential to go for more than 12. But based off history, minutes, production, I like him more at 12 points. So if you see that the prop is still up there because of the role that he was playing, and it's the points prop's much higher than the 12, don't run and play that. Or I'm not going to run and play that. You do as you will. Again, these are just my own personal projections and what I believe. This isn't really advice, but that's where I'm at on Oubre. And then Jalen Green, dude's on a heater, 22 points. I will say that dude's always volatile. Always, you know what I mean? I don't. He's gonna have to do this a little bit longer for me to look at him and go, yeah, this guy's a legit elite guy that you can trust. Because I'm not there with Jalen Green yet. But I will say that you got to get these guys when they're streaking. And right now, Jalen's streaking. He's got an opportunity to get to 22 points pretty easily. Van Fleet, 7 assists. That's kind of the role that he's playing right now. I think he can score more than he has been recently, but he's playing more of a facilitator role right now. Jalen Green's got the hot hand, and I think you're going to continue to see that until Jalen cools down. So Jalen Green, 22 points, and Van Fleet, 7 assists. I do kind of like these props. Just be mindful of Jalen Green and his inconsistencies throughout his career. Vassell, 17 points. Not the best matchup in the world, but should definitely be in a position to play. I guess it's not the worst. I guess we'll see, how Bradley Beal locks up on this guy, because I'd say that's what you're going to see. He's been doing all right playing defense lately. Historically, maybe not the best defender in the world, but not the worst. Yeah, Vassell, he could get there. 17 points is doable. He's in a position to get pretty good run and have pretty good usage. Keldon, 13 plus points. Yeah, I think this guy's even more live. I have him as volatile, but with Wemby being out, I think it makes him a bit more live. But we don't know that. We don't know what the guy's going to do. Gary Trent, 17 points. Yeah, he's going to chuck. Not the best matchup in the world, but, the guy's going to absolutely chuck the ball. And he shoots the ball really well, so I don't mind Gary Trent. Grady, 9 points. I mean, he can get there. There ain't nothing wrong with Grady in a way, but at the same time, rookie. And just, I'm not going to trust him. Halliburton, 18 points, 9 assists. I'm not going to trust his points prop. I think that he can obviously get there. His per 36 is better than 18. And who are they playing? Are they playing Clippers? They might be playing Clippers, I want to say. Yeah, Clippers. So he could definitely get there, but I do like the assist prop more than the point prop on him. Nembhard is 7 points. I think that's kind of a live number. Simmons, 23 points. Questionable. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. We are going to try to pull it up real quick. Yeah, he's out. He's out. So we're going to scrap Simons. And that makes Scoot's point prop super live. He's a rookie, but that's a low number. I would look at Scoot's point prop, 13 points. Might make Banton a little bit more live too, but we don't know what his role is going to be. And then I'd say there's a good chance. I think Jamal's like a true questionable, maybe even out already. Let's see if we can pull that up real quick. And then we'll get out of here. We'll hop on out of here. Yeah, it's still showing him questionable right now, but I think he is, and I think he's a true questionable. And the fact that they ruled a bunch of their players questionable, I'd say there's a good chance that they might set these guys. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. They might set these guys. I don't really love Jamal Murray anyways, as far as Q tag. I don't know. I'm not running to play that. So anyway, Scoot, I think that's pretty live considering what we're looking at. Halliburton's at 9 assists. That's pretty live. Nemhard 7 points. Gary Trent 17 points. I like that. Vassell 17 points. I like that. Van Fleet 7 assists. Don't mind that. Jalen Green's 22 points is a pretty good bet, but temper your expectations on him. We're going to jump over these guys. Bam, 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 bam. Sexton 20 points. I like him more at 18. If you can find that, definitely consider it. Cameron Thompson or Cam Thomas. Is that right? Yeah, Cameron Thomas. 21 points, pretty live number. This guy's a bad defender. Always getting. Let's see what the matchup is, because if he's going against like a really good offensive player, that's going to make me like a little bit more hesitant on. I don't know if he's like a high foul guy, but I think if. No, they're going against Toronto. Yeah, there's nothing. This is a great matchup for him. So the 21 points, 20 points, 2021, where I'm at. Nurkic, rebound prop. Yeah, if you can get a little bit lower, 10 rebounds, not the worst deal. Also, the points prop's not even the worst deal. Beal, 7 assists, kind of like that. Booker around 20 points. I'm not really betting this guy any higher than that. And KD's obviously very live to go for 19. I mean, that should be a walk in the park for him if he's getting the shots off and they're falling. I'm not going to recommend any of these Knick guys just simply due to the fact that the matchup's a little bit up in the air, at least as far as competitiveness goes. Kyrie, 21 points. Norman, 12. Let's say 11 on Norman. Harden's 8 assists. Wiseman's rebound prop, that should be very live. Aldama's rebound prop should be very live. I'll take Gafford's point prop. I don't mind it, but temper your expectations on this, because this is a guy that could get there very easily. But it's like betting an assist prop. I mean, he's just the other end of it. That's the way I see it. Like, he's not going to go out there and create a bunch for himself unless he's just getting putbacks. But, rim runner, playing with Luka, opportunity should be there. But if something happens with Luka, that all goes away. You see what I'm saying? So it does make it a bit volatile when you look at it that way. Luka's points prop, yeah, a little bit lower. Between 28 and 30, I like it way more. But, 32 is very live, just a high number. Siakam's points prop, even his rebound props are right, but just temper your expectations on that. Like I said, typically, he's been exceeding his current production is much greater than his history shows, and so that kind of makes you want to question how long he can keep that up, because there's going to be positive regression eventually. And 19 points is very live for him, I'd say. Turner with 12 points, that's also pretty live. Capella's numbers, I like those quite a bit. He should have a pretty secure role. Hart falls into the rest of the guys, so 9 rebounds is obviously very live. I don't know, this guy plays heavy minutes anyways. But yeah, temper your expectations. They're playing Detroit, and a very depleted Detroit. I mean, they're missing Duran, they're missing Cade. I mean, it's going to be it's just going to be an ugly game, I think, overall. And then Hartenstein, he should be able to get. I think he could still get there. So 6 rebounds, that's a low enough number. I think he could still get there. Miles Bridges, 17 points. Not the best matchup, but he plays heavy minutes, and he's one of their primary scorers. So I think he's pretty live. And I don't know how. I feel like, yeah, I didn't even go through everyone. This is wild. I was gonna say I don't remember seeing like Fox. We got Fox 20 points. Sorry to backtrack. Fox 20 points. JJ 19. JJ's pretty live. I'd say you should have a heavy role. Keep your eye on whether Bane plays. I don't have any like projections wrote up for him because he's a true questionable, I think, as well. Brandon Miller's always a super volatile bet, but he can get there in points. So I don't love that, but he's always live to get there. Micic at 11 points. Yeah, he's pretty live. You're relying on a guy that's not typically like a very, very good scorer, but he's been getting to this number pretty frequently. Same thing with Man. These guys get to these numbers like pretty regularly, and they should have the opportunity to do so. Their role should be consistent. Whether their production is in a tough matchup, that's yet to be seen. But these are live. DeJounte Murray, 18 points. Yeah, he's in a good spot. Bogdan and Hunter, kind of the same thing. I mean, in a position for usage and production, they're in a good spot, but the matchup's pretty tough. So, anyways, and then Ivy 14 points. I don't mind that. Ivy should be like one of the only guys playing, so I don't mind that. And then we're gonna go ahead and hop back up here real quick. So I just had gone by Miles Bridges. Richards nine rebounds. Kind of a tough matchup. He could get there though. Avdia, I like his props quite a bit. I'm not really going to recommend Holmes or Bagley just simply because they split minutes and, one could get much more minutes than the other, and that could really mess with our projections. But if they split minutes, like you say, if you split those minutes right down the middle, I think these numbers are very realistic. Holmes could crush that rebound prop based off what he's been doing lately, but we're going to use more of a long-term approach, and I think 5 rebounds is a realistic amount of rebounds for the amount of minutes they've been playing. Kawhi, 20 points. Don't mind that. PG, between 18 and 20. I don't mind that. Zubac, 8 rebounds. Not the worst, but, a bit volatile. Rolls. I don't know. I mean, he could get there. Yeah, I don't have anything on like Jaylen Brown. I know we talked about Tatum a bit, around between like 23, 25 points. All men's rebound props pretty live. Even his points props pretty live. He should have an opportunity in this spot. Allen, he's a volatile bet with what's going on. Landell's 3 rebounds is super, super live. Sabonis rebound prop, you get a little bit lower, you're going to like it a lot more. Claxton's props are in a really, really good spot. Yeah, and then Vucevic rebound prop, pretty good. His points props all right too. It's just, what's his role going to be. Anyways, those are the props for today. That's what I got wrote up. And I hope you guys have really good luck today. Hopefully all of our stuff hits. Hopefully every one of these I come back and we're like bam, 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 bam. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. Good luck, everybody. Have a good night. Win some money. And we'll see you next time on the Prop Spot. Have a good night. Peace.